Hi YouTube, this is Trion in here with another episode of City Skylines. I believe this is episode 6. So as you can see, our city has grown quite a lot since my last episode. I think, as you probably can see, the main differences are this bridge, this gigantic bridge over here that, like I have previously said, I continued from my underground highway system. So I'm just gonna show you guys how this works. So I think I'm gonna probably start on the other way, on the beginning of the highway, which I obviously upgraded, and it has now quite a lot of traffic. So my city is now a traffic nightmare. Oh, I have to fix this as well. I don't know what's going on here. I have to make but I'll talk about that sooner or later. So like I was saying, let's just check it out. So I have I think I've shown this to you guys in the previous video. I have quite an underground system going on right now. So I have this main highway, underground highway, going one direction, and this one coming the other way around, with several exits. Sorry, both come to this way. So this one is for cars coming from the north part that way, and this is for cars coming from the south. And so they travel through the underground system. They go through here. They exit on they can also exit on both these exits, like I have shown you guys in the previous video. And then I've made this an extension of the freeway, so the cars can either get out on this exit, so they get out here and they can enter in here, or they can continue through here and get out of the underground system in this place, continuing following these gigantic bridges that I've built. They have been very expensive, but as you can see, I have a shitload of money, so who cares? And so the cars can then get out of the highway system in here, which connects to the oil industry, which is pretty decent. It allows for a faster communication of transport and import-export. As you can see, I have another underground system that continues through here, and that the several trucks can access via tunnels, obviously. So I made a tunnel under this mountain. I think it looked cooler this way. I originally started by just demolishing all the trees and building the highway straight ahead, but I think it looked cooler this way, so I've built a tunnel, and they get out in here. I've built this loop because I found that several trucks coming from there actually do a turn inversion in here on this loop. So I built this, allowing for the inversion to be made, specifically on the bus system, and then they can access obviously the highway through this system connection. Get the sunset, that's beautiful. And then they can travel through the highway. They can exit in here, like I've shown you guys in the past video. And then they can access Cherry Heights, which has expanded a bit, not a lot. It still continues that semi-poor state. I mean, nowadays I have a lot of high-end houses, but they don't have access to any services except the firehouse. However, like I've previously explained as well, they can go to the main city by bus or train, and they can access the services in there. So I also added the Cozy District, which has a worker shortage right now, but it's supposed to be a farmland, and it's just an extension from Cherry Heights, which doesn't have any education. So I think the workers who live in here should be able to work in Cozy District. Now, as you can see, I have this freight station. It continues. I've shown you guys that in the past, and I think the main difference now is the expansion. So we have this main line connecting, as usual, to the main circular line that connects all the cities. However, the trains can also continue through here. They pass under the international passenger line, which I also added. So now we can receive and in a way we can import and export tourists through this international passenger line. And I've seen that these passenger trains, these international passenger trains, are not blocking our main line. So for now I will leave it that way. If they start blocking our main line, I will just remove these access points and build a single station whose objective is solely to connect to the outside system. So I'll build a station solely for the outside tourist trains, and that station should be connected to the main bus and subway and other train and the internal railways as well, allowing for a faster movement of the internal city passenger trains, which get an independent line from the outside system. So as you probably have seen as well, this area has developed quite well. It's now a high-end industry. So it's like the other. It has become similar to this area. It has developed to the full extent all industries in this area. I still have some forest dedicated industry going on. However, they are mostly high-end industry. I have this prison in here. I don't know if I had this on the previous episode, but as you can see, I don't have a lot of criminals, which is good, I guess. Or the police isn't working fine, but I think it's good. And I also have this. This is a new addition, I think, from the After Dark, which is a cargo hub, which allows to connect the main train tracks to obviously to the harbor, to the cargo ships, which can now easily transport cargo, effectively allowing the trains to pick it up easily. In the past, you had to build an independent dock. This one, you had to build the cargo harbor, obviously, but without a train track, and then you could connect to a train track by building a freight station, but it would generate a lot of traffic as the cargo moves from the dock to the freight station. In fact, you can still see it. There's a lot of traffic going on, but not as many as it would generate if the train wouldn't be here. So as you can probably see, it now allows for faster transportation of goods, and it doesn't generate traffic, I mean road traffic. What else? I've added, so this I've added, let me just demolish this building right here. This is abandoned. So this, I think this area east of the train track is completely new. So I've built this tourist place. This is just for tourists. It's just it's called the Cedar District, and it has a tourism specialization. So yeah, in here in the commercial specialization, I chosen the tourism specialization. So it's just hotels and stuff like that. I had it the Mall of Moderation, which it's kind of crappy, but it gets the job done. I also had the zoo, which is quite expensive, but it's a nice addition as well, I think. And I've finally gotten to this end of the island, so to the northern coast of the island. I've built my way through here. I've built more schools, obviously, because and I still have a lot of people not attending school. As you can see, I have a huge shortage of elementary schools, especially in the Cherry Heights, on the neighborhood that's near the oil fields. But I think the city is going well, and I don't have any shortage of skilled workers, it's a good indicator, I believe. I've added more medical clinics because I was getting a shortage of I was getting a lot of people getting ill, and as you can see, the general city has evolved quite a bit. I have mainly high-end buildings, mainly on the central part of the city, in the central part. As you probably remember, this avenue, which made this pattern. At the time I said it was pretty ugly, but I think it has merged pretty well with the city, and it just adds a different aspect to it. So it's kind of different from the grid-like pattern that the city mostly has, but it's the more efficient this way, but it's also kind of ugly. I mean, when compared to old historical cities, at least, like European cities, and well, cities built from the distant times, not modern cities, and I mean modern in the recently built cities. So this avenue is also doing just fine. It has a lot of prosperity, a lot of commercial buildings, and another addition you guys probably noticed is the harbor, and this is mainly for tourists. So I get a lot of tourists. I mean, not a lot. I get like, let me see. So I get 14 per week. I get 14 tourists. Oh gosh, what's going on? It's probably the power. Yeah, I'm gonna increase the budget for power. I'm gonna get there. So I'm just gonna increase like this bit. Okay, that should be take care of the problem. These tourists allow for a nice income of extra tourists. I get a lot. I mean a lot of people on these bus stations. I actually made another metro station nearby so that people could easily go out of their way. So let me just check what the heck is going on. It's clearly not the power grid, it's actually a shortage of water, so I'm just gonna build another water pumping station. Probably not there because people might be getting tired of the noise. I'm gonna build it here, why not? Just connect it to the power grid, and that should take care of the situation. Okay, yeah, the situation is taken care of. So where was I? Yeah, I have expanded the metro station, as you can see. Where is it? It's in here. So yeah, it's now quite complex, so bear with me. I basically, from the last episode, added this green line in here, so it connects this place, goes all the way through here, and it then ends on this station. So it allows for a faster connection of this district, new district. And then I added these two train stations with a line of their own, just to connect the harbor to the rest of the city. I was considering building a line connecting this station to this one, just a parallel line, but I have so many bus lanes that I don't think it was necessary. So as you can see, I have at the moment 9 bus lines, which transport quite a lot of people, except bus line 8. I don't know what's going on with bus line 8. Which one is bus line 8? Let me... okay. Yeah, this makes sense. This bus line 8 is dedicated to the... it's dedicated to this part of the map, so it's normal that it doesn't have a lot of passengers traveling in it. So as you can see, I have a lot of bus lines with lots of people using them. I mean, I got 1,800 people. That's almost, that's pretty much the same as the people that are using the metro. And the metro is I mean, I've noticed that the metro is the most used transport system, so that's a pretty good sign. I'm gonna face this as a pretty efficient bus system. I mean, it connects pretty much all roads to each other, it connects all the parts of the city to each other. The most recent line is this purple one, which basically connects the north part to the south part and in the eastern part to the west part, so it allows for a faster connection of all city parts. I also have the train system, which works pretty well. Nowadays it transports 200 people, which is pretty decent, and I think it allows just for a faster movement of people across the map. So as you can see, it's pretty expensive. Not expensive. It's expensive and expensive. But yeah, I mean, the city is doing well. Let's see how many people much we can get, and see for how long we can expand this city. I mean, I think I'm gonna expand this until I can no longer record due to the lag, because the program I use uses a lot of CPU power, and my CPU isn't that great. So let's see how much more time I can keep this up. Oh, and obviously obviously I've built a nuclear power plant, so it's quite expensive, but still it's less expensive than all the windmills that I had. So as you probably noticed, I demolished all the windmills that I had in here to build this cargo hub with this kind of abandoned industrial area, so I no longer have any water windmills or earth windmills, which is well, it's good. I just have this nuclear power plant and that's it. And as you can see, it's not even used to its full potential. I have 84%. I'm using it at 84% of its full potential, and that still produces yeah, almost 80 megawatts, an extra of 80 megawatts of power. So that's a pretty decent. I've built this this unnecessary connection, but it mainly serves to alleviate the congestion that I was getting in here. I was getting a traffic pile up until this area about here, so I was getting a really serious traffic, and traffic was really piling up. So I built this, and this kind of alleviated mainly the trucks coming from this industrial area. So I'm happy with this. I'm gonna probably do something more fancy in the future, but for now this works. And yeah, I updated the freight line. I've built this freight line, obviously to connect all different parts of the freight system. I have a lot of traffic on this intersection of trains, but it usually doesn't intercept much with the passenger flow, which let's hope it keeps that way. And yeah, that's how the city is going. I think it's going pretty well. I think I'm gonna this is awkward. I'm just gonna build this in here really quickly. So like I was saying, I don't know why the water stopped complaining. Okay, should be done right now. Okay, that's it. So I think I'm gonna build a pier in here as well, so that I don't get this abrupt ending. And I think that's it. That's the main update of our city. It's doing perfectly well. I have lots of money coming in. I've tried building some dams over here, damming this part of the river, but that didn't exactly work out. But I'm gonna see how it goes in the future. It was quite fun. I flooded this entire area, and it was interesting. But I'll probably show you that to you in some nearer episode. And as you can see, I've acquired quite a lot of land. I can acquire even more. I can acquire one more piece of land. I don't know which one yet. If you guys have a suggestion, please leave below. I don't know which one of these squares should I acquire to expand my city. I don't know if this is... I think I have one more, and then that's it. Yeah, I still have one more area to unlock before the big finish. I have to unlock the airport still, and that should be it. But until then, that's our city. It's going perfectly well. I think in the future, I don't know if I'm gonna start building in here or maybe expand to this area. Maybe I'm gonna expand to this area, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to build a big bridge so that the cruise ships and the freight ships can get below it. But let's see how it goes, and I think this concludes another episode of City Skylines. So thank you for watching. This was 3onion. Goodbye.